The story continues as we see member of the Shadow Garden inside one of the cult's buildings. Zeta gazes into the night, unable to spot any men beyond. She realizes that the sought-after item has already been taken, signaling what she believes to be the downfall of Oriana Kingdom. Suddenly, a lackey from the cult attacks her, but Zeta swiftly deals with him, convinced that everything will unfold according to their lord's will. We then see Epsilon playing the piano in the palace. Sid, observing, recalls that Rose is distressed because Perv has taken her mother hostage. He wonders why this is bothering Rose when she has come so far. Sid resolves to use his influence and shadow techniques to free the hostage himself, believing it will pave the way for the birth of a legendary tyrant. Margaret arrives and expresses her concern about Sid's disappearance the day before. She shares that a suspicious guard, who caused unrest in the castle, has been removed for stealing food. Margaret assures Sid that she will protect him from the creepy man and his teacher, who aims to crush his talent. Epsilon joins the conversation, leading to a verbal altercation between Margaret and Epsilon for Sid's favor. However, Sid slips away using the substitution technique. The scene shifts to Epsilon pondering the calmness of everyone despite the impending war. Sid agrees that they appear unconcerned. Epsilon explains that Oriana's nobility dislikes violence, revering art instead, shaped by the influence of Black Rose throughout history. When Sid expresses a desire to see the Black Rose, Epsilon is surprised and warns of the danger. However, she vows to make it happen if that's what her lord wishes, leaving Sid puzzled by her emphasis on a mere flower. Following the events, Sid goes in search of the queen and discovers her in a romantic moment with Perv. The two are all affectionate, and Sid feels repulsed witnessing their intimacy. Sid realizes that this situation is problematic. He believes it's a complicated family issue, and if he informs Rose about it, her anger might trigger her transformation into a tyrant. The scene shifts to Margaret serving tea disrespectfully to Rose, who tries to engage with her, but Margaret leaves abruptly. Rose fears that Margaret will never smile at her again, but is determined to save her mother. While contemplating, she hears a noise, checks outside the window, but finds nothing. She notices Shadow drinking her tea and wonders if he's there to harm her. Apologizing for her betrayal, Rose is asked by Shadow to accompany him to learn the truth. Shadow reveals a scene of the queen being intimate with Perv. Perv informs the queen that the kingdom will soon be theirs. The queen admits drugging her husband for this purpose, and Perv expresses regret that he could have been more useful alive. The queen, cruelly, states that Rose should have been the first to die. Rose, appalled, vomits at this revelation. Shadow insists this is the truth and encourages Rose to rise as a tyrant, as the time is right. Despite continuing his explanation, Rose faints and Shadow apologizes. She wakes up in her room, questioning the purpose of her actions until now. Overwhelmed, she cries and wishes to return to happier days. Hearing a piano playing, she goes to the balcony and discovers Sid playing. She asks him to run away with her to an unknown place, citing the betrayals and forsaken feelings she's experienced. Despite everything, Sid has remained by her side. Sid shares that he likes the music, making it easier to see the world. He reveals he has divided the world into essential and non-essential things. Rose wonders why, and Sid explains that he has a dream, and to achieve it, he must dedicate his time and effort to meaningful pursuits while cutting ties with everything else. Rose believes she's the person Sid is talking about, thinking that Sid has sacrificed everything else for her. Sid explains that in the overly bright world, it's easy to lose focus on essential things. The excessive brightness causes distractions, making people overlook important matters. Sid prefers the softer glow of the moon, which prompts everyone to pay close attention, preventing them from losing sight of what truly matters. Using Shadow's voice, Sid asks Rose what she sees in this moonlit world before leaving. He leaves behind the succession ring. Later, in the bath, Sid realizes he has misplaced the ring. Entering the bath, he reflects on his efforts to persuade Rose. He hopes she gathers herself to lead a rebellion, and Epsilon offers to wash Shadow's back. Sid informs her of an unexpected development, and Epsilon expresses concern. Sid assures her there won't be an issue, mentioning he gave the key to Rose. If she finds the strength to rise, the rebellion's banner will naturally follow. Epsilon is surprised that Rose holds the key. Sid reveals the decisive battle will occur in 3 days, on the wedding day. He believes this time frame allows Rose to process her emotions. The scene shifts to the wedding day, where protesters outside the castle demand the cancellation of the wedding and removal of the false princess from her throne. The soldiers present label anyone opposing Princess Rose as part of the resistance, and open fire on the citizens. In a different place, Perf believes he's nearing his goal. He faced unexpected challenges and didn't anticipate the king risking his own safety to tamper with the succession ring. Perf transferred ownership of the ring from himself to Princess Rose. Mordred informed him that he must marry Rose to integrate his blood into the royal line and become the ring's owner, a process typical for such artifacts, although Perf dislikes it. Despite the complications, Perf believes his hard work will soon pay off, and he'll become a Knight of the Rounds. Opening the ring box, he discovers it's empty. Trying to close and open it again doesn't change anything. Panicking, he wonders how he could lose the ring and searches frantically. Unable to find it in his clothes, Mordred contacts him, confirming that all arrangements have been made, and after the ceremony, the 12th seat of the rounds will be his. Mordred expresses high hopes for Perf, and the communication ends. Perf decides he doesn't need the succession ring immediately, and plans to come up with an excuse to delay the ring exchange. The story shifts to Rose entering the marriage hall. People around talk about how the ceremony is just a formality to hand everything over to Duke Perv Asshat. Rose goes to the stage, and the priest asks if they are willing to become husband and wife. To everyone's surprise, Rose refuses. Perv is taken aback and questions why the princess would say that. Rose admits to murdering her father, betraying her kingdom, and pledging allegiance to a shadowy organization. She takes responsibility for all these crimes, but expresses her determination to make things right before it's too late. Rose then accuses Perv of manipulating her father, defiling the queen, and plotting to overthrow the government. Perv demands proof, but Rose admits she has none. Unfazed, Perv claims it's not a game and reveals he has a hostage. He orders Rose to marry him, but she refuses, stating she won't give up on love no matter what. She swears this on the ring given by Sid, surprising Perv. Rose puts on the ring, and it activates, displaying a video of the king. In the video, the king explains that he lost his senses due to being drugged, implicates Duke Perv Asshat, and reveals the kingdom is under the control of a massive organization supporting him. The nobles realize the video might be playing throughout the kingdom, jeopardizing their allegiance to Perv. The king entrusts the kingdom's future to Rose, professing his love for her. Perv dismisses it as nonsense, but the nobles brand him a traitor and Rose beheads him. Mordred, revealed as the killer of the queen, introduces himself as the Knight Seat of the Rounds. He congratulates Rose on the key succession ceremony and activates a device, explaining that the possessor of the ring and the user of the device don't need to be the same person to activate Black Rose. The Black Rose manifests in the sky, and Mordred reveals it to be the legendary monster that wiped out 100,000 Velgolton troops in one night. Mordred explains that eliminating witnesses is the cult's law, and an archfiend named Ragnarok emerges from the Black Rose, attacking the capital with a beam. Shadow intervenes, cutting one of its arms, and comments on the rarity of a rose in the sky, finding it unsightly. This brings an end to our episode. If you enjoyed it, then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more anime recaps.